Have you met All Modern? All Modern brings you the best of modern furniture and decor. And right now through November 20th, you'll score up to 50% off during their early access to Black Friday sale. Simplify your holiday entertaining with deals on plush sofas, modern tabletop essentials, and more. All on sale at All Modern. Then get them delivered for free in days. You heard that right. Days. That's modern made simple. Shop All Modern's early access to Black Friday sale now through November 20th at allmodern.com.
This is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark, a Hallmark review podcast. I'm Megan, and I'm a longtime Hallmark fan.
I'm Wendy. I'm a former Hallmark hater, but a Hallmark reality lover, I think.
Ooh, changed it up on the fly. Today we are discussing Finding Mr. Christmas, episode 4, which is exclusively streaming on the Hallmark Plus platform. If you need us to tell you how to get Hallmark Plus for free, please check our show notes because we are talking about it. This is designed to be a mini episode, so we are going to dive right into the shenanigans of the remaining dudes. Actually, before we do that, I joined the Bracketology Finding Mr. Christmas bracket. I don't know who shared this, honestly. I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, I just clicked on it, and then I had to narrow it down, like, who would get eliminated each week and pick a final winner. I'm not telling you who I chose as my winner. He is still in, but I was wrong about who went home last week. I'll tell you that much.
Very fun.
All right, so let's jump right in. We get a tiny bit of recap at the top of this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And Ezra, who you guys might remember, I said at the very top of this recap series, he was my like first impression frontrunner, and then he hasn't really like delivered for me. Yeah. And so he's like, I'm awake. Like, I'm here to fight. I'm hungry. That time on the block. That's a Big Brother language. On the chopping block. Woke me up.
I mean, isn't that always how it happens, though? Like, the contestant who is at, what's the word I'm looking for? At the
elimination.
Threat of elimination is like, feels fired up. Like, oh, I've been sleeping on this. Like, I got to pull it together. I'm rooting for Ezra. Look, I don't ever want to say who I'm rooting for because I feel like I jinx it when I put it out in the universe, but I enjoy Ezra. He has been kind of sleepy up until this week.
Yeah. And again, there's a lot they can do in editing, but as you mentioned last week, like maybe our winner will be like a sleeper hit. Like we don't even see it coming.
Yes, exactly.
We jump into our festive face-off, and I wondered if you clocked anything about the attire of the dudes in this challenge.
Flannels?
Every single one in a plaid flannel, opened button down.
Got it. So they can get some breeze through there. If you guys haven't listened to it yet, we have an interview with Daxton, who was sadly had to I like to call it self-evict. But he did say that the weather was pleasant while they were in Utah filming this. Now, when Megan and I went to Utah, it was like 110 degrees. So I can't imagine wearing a flannel out in the dead of summer.
I mean, it is a dry heat, but yes, it was miserable when we were in Utah, and it was June, but I do think they're kind of like in the mountains, so maybe
a little cooler.
Yes, they don't appear to be sweating through their flannels, but Jonathan Bennett is also in a plaid flannel. Melissa Peterman is the only one who is not in this scene. And a question for you. You have requested more Survivor-like challenges. Were you pleased with this challenge?
Well, like I said in my written review on our website, Girls Gone Hallmark, this challenge is giving backyard games. Like, it looks a little bit on the janky side, but I'm guessing like they don't have Survivor money to put behind like the challenge sets.
Yeah, that's like a full-time job over there, is creating those challenges.
I know. I listened to Jeff's podcast. I hear all about it.
And then running them to make sure that they're doable in the time allotted. And
Yeah, I wonder if they are like doing that on this show. Like, did they have somebody like run the course to see if it was possible to win or not, you know?
the Hallmark intern is like, I am not hacking through that block of ice.
Oh my gosh. Can we talk about the block of ice for a second?
Yeah.
Okay. So I watch a ton of reality TV show, and MTV's The Challenge in a very early season, they had to get something from a block of ice, but they had to use their own body heat to melt the ice. So it involved a lot of like rubbing your body on the ice. I thought that's where we were going with this when I saw this freaking block of ice. I was like, what are they going to do on Hallmark Plus? Oh my God. It was so funny.
No, it was giving me Frozen, the movie vibes of that, opening song, which I know is not a movie that you've seen over and over again because Wendy hates animated movies with the fire of 1,000 suns. But I have seen and listened to that soundtrack over and over again. So I was picturing the Arendelle ice harvesters in that moment.
Got it. So this was really funny. I don't know, how closely did you look at these trees that they're
so little.
Well, okay, not even that. Megan, these trees are not rooted into the ground, right? They're in some kind of stand, and then the bottom stand is covered with fake snow, like a fake blanket snow. You know what I'm talking about?
Sure.
So I have like analyzed the still pictures and have watched this over and over again. And I think there's like a ribbon tied around the trunk bottom of the tree. And I think they were told they had to cut like above that ribbon. Because at one point, I don't even remember who it was. It might have been Jonathan, not the host, Jonathan, the competitor. His tree is laying on its side.
I think you're right. And I also think like
I am right.
Hayden and Jonathan both struggle with their trees in this scene, and I think they both like have them kind of like on the ground trying to saw through them. Hayden made a poor choice. He did choose a tree with a rather thick trunk.
Yeah, that's a bummer. I wonder if that was done on purpose, like a variety of sized tree trunks.
Sure. Or they just had to take what they could get in June.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, that whole scene was, that whole part of the competition was really funny. But you know what I thought was really, really funny is that we have Melissa Peterman and Jonathan Bennett, and they have their headphones on, and it is a little bit of guerrilla style, like yes. And they're giving like the viewers a like play by play. I laughed so hard. They are so funny together.
They are so funny together. Now, in this scene, we also have Hallmark superfans, and I have two things to say about this. First of all, justice for the Hallmark superfans, because they don't get named. They don't have a line. They just are like cheering everybody on in the background. And I just can imagine, because my second point is, hello, Girls Gone Hallmark, Finding Mr. Christmas, Season 2, I'm begging you. But especially later in this episode, I was like, oh my gosh, this could be us. But you can just imagine, they're like, this is my moment. I'm going to be on Finding Mr. Christmas. I'm going to be a super fan. They're going to say my name. Nope. Just super fan. And please don't get too close to the competition.
Here is my feedback on it. None of them were over the age of 30. I'm like, how super are we here? Like, there's no way. These were people that were like, oh, there's some filming going on in Utah. Like, let's go check it out. And then like, they're like, hey, come on over here and like say yay and root these guys on.
Yeah. Is this a background actor casting call? Like, how did they get this job? Because I will pay for my own airfare.
You really want to be on this show.
Yeah, so do you. Don't pretend like you don't.
You are funny. Okay, let's talk about the competition here. Who gets off to...
Well, Blake takes an early lead. He does crash into a tree as he's running, which made me laugh.
Them boots.
But then they're trying to pull this big sled, and Blake can... It's kind of a funny scene. He's like, I couldn't get any purchase, and he kicks up his feet, and they're just like completely slick, his cowboy boots.
That was a very... very funny scene with him it was his like talking head interview.
Yes.
He puts his boot up and it's like completely smooth, no tread on a pair of cowboy boots. But when he's when he's trying to pull that sled, all I can see is like a cartoon character of that, like
running in place.
You know what I mean?
Well, and it's funny because Parker comes in, and Parker is also wearing boots, and Parker uses his boots like spikes. Like he turns around and like digs in with his heels.
Yeah.
Ezra, true to his claim at the top of the episode, does kick ass in this challenge. He and ultimately ends up winning, as Hayden and Jonathan are still sawing.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that two guys couldn't even get past the sawing round.
I would like to see a side-by-side comparison of the thickness of their tree trunks, because I think that makes a huge difference. Poor Jonathan was like, I'm going to show my track scar skills. And then he was like, guess not.
Yeah, I did feel bad. Do you think they were like, that's unfair? They got the smaller tree trunks.
I would be shouting from the rooftops until my dying day, my trunk was bigger.
Yeah. Yeah, it was impressive, though. Ezra takes home the win. And Parker, I don't know if you caught this. I was like, is this guy accident prone? Because he said that he like inhaled like they're like digging through this like.
Oh, yes. The fake snow.
Yeah, they're digging through this fake snow looking for this tree topper. And he's like, I took this big inhale of this.
Parker
this
is mean.
Snow. But Parker got hurt in the last challenge too. And
his tiny little cut.
He didn't. I mean, I was like, is this a part? Is this a storyline? Like he's always getting like hurt in like these challenges. He didn't get hurt in this one, but it did derail him a little bit.
Yeah, as he had to like all that stuff out of his nose.
Yeah, exactly.
We are going to take a quick break and come right back with some ads.
Have you met All Modern? All Modern brings you the best of modern furniture and decor. And right now through November 20th, you'll score up to 50% off during their early access to Black Friday sale. Simplify your holiday entertaining with deals on plush sofas, modern tabletop essentials, and more. All on sale at All Modern. Then get them delivered for free in days. You heard that right. Days. That's modern made simple. Shop All Modern's early access to Black Friday sale now through November 20th at allmodern.com.
If your day sounds like
We need the report ASAP.
you deserve Modelo. If you've persevered through, you deserve this rich golden lager with a crisp but refreshing taste. Or if you overcame,
2 more reps, 2 more.
you deserve this ice-cold reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Port Chicago, Illinois.
So Ezra's prize is he does get to pick the order for the talent show, and he makes the bold decision to go first.
I have a question for you. Prior to the talent show scenes, the guys are huddled around the house, and Blake says like he's being very coy about what he's going to do in the talent competition. And he's like, it's a competition, and I was like, it was all top model vibes here. Like, I'm not here to make friends. I'm going to surprise everybody with my dancing skills. What did you think? I'm like, now is Blake getting the villain edit?
Spoiler alert, Blake gave Wendy the ick in this episode.
I know he's like your number one. Like, it's not happening. No.
He's not. He's actually not who I chose to pick. He's not the winner that I named.
Your bracketology.
No, he's not. I do still like Blake, but
no, I can't. I can't get behind him now. Red flags, ick, out of control.
Oh, we need the red flag guy. I just think that's good gameplay, because Blake's talent was something that any of the other guys could have stolen.
Agree. No, this is good gameplay here. All his other stuff.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
We're going to get to it. But this is good gameplay here.
They tie these challenges back in. They have a reason for all of them. Like, it's not just to be silly. You know, Jonathan says, like, if you have a talent, that can sometimes inform the character you play. He gives the example of Luke McFarlane and Chateau Christmas. They changed the instrument because he actually plays the cello, et cetera, et cetera. I got to say, I don't think any of these guys' talents are making it into a movie, though. Like, is Hayden going to play a magician? We do get, Jonathan says, expect the unexpected, which is
Julie Chen. A complete, I mean, I don't know. My worlds were like,
me too.
There. I'm surprised she doesn't have a trademark on that.
I mean, I just was like, oh, that's got to be intentional.
It had to have been, right?
We do get a live audience also. I'm dying to know, like, where these people came from. Dying.
I mean, I think they just were like, yo, we're doing a production out here. Can we fill these seats here?
Yeah. So let's talk about Ezra's talent.
Okay.
His talent is rollerblading and making cocktails. I mean, it's fun. I actually thought he was entertaining and like working the crowd. Do the splits in your skates. Work with what you got, man.
I didn't hate it. I mean, honestly, like, I hyperventilated a little bit because I was like, what talent would I do? I don't have any talent.
Me either.
So good for him. Maybe he doesn't like sing or dance or whatever, but like he knows how to rollerblade and he knows how to make some drinks. So
it's on theme. He does a Merry Martini bar. Expect the unexpected moment does come as the guys come off stage. They get a backstage interview by Kelty Knight from E! News.
She has a podcast, Lady Gang, I think. That it's like huge.
Yeah, she does. Okay. Correct. Ezra goes first, obviously, and he kind of blows it a little bit. And so his benefit from being the winner of Challenge 1 is he gets a second chance, and he brings it back together.
He does a good job redeeming himself here.
Yeah, and
Took
I think
the note.
Yeah, that's exactly it. He takes the note, and I think a bigger challenge is like, can they be trained? Because okay, so maybe they're not great talking to the media, but like, can they spice it up with a little bit of media training?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he did great.
Unfortunately, we have Parker, who is next.
Oh my gosh.
Parker,
I was rooting for you.
He comes out like kind of telling dad jokes in a world's greatest husband shirt. This is news to me that Parker is married.
Oh, you just thought like he was this single sexy dad?
He talks about his son constantly. This is the first time he's talked about his wife.
Well, and he never shut up about his wife in this episode.
Yes. His talent's boring. I'm sorry. Like, yes, do I think it is an amazing skill to fold a fitted sheet? Yes. Do I ever do it? Absolutely not. That's a talent that is better displayed on video where you can edit out the boring stuff than it is on stage while people are like watching you foots with the corners. And then he's
folding a fitted sheet is very difficult, and I have to say, like, I do use his method, but like you said, super boring to watch.
And Kelty basically falls asleep in her interview where he talks about like his wife, and she's like, "Yo, bro, you can't lean into that if you're going to be the hunk of Hallmark."
So let me stop you there. I thought that was really interesting because one, we've been having a lot of conversation about. Is Tyler Hines in a relationship with anybody, right? We don't know because he doesn't share that stuff on social media at all. And so does that play into this like fantasy for viewers, right?
Yeah. And go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's even the storyline in one of the Danube movies where like the actor like doesn't want to give away that he's in a relationship because then people can't connect with his character because they need to live in this like, maybe it could be me space.
Right. But then on the flip side of that, we've talked about Andrew Walker, who is pretty vocal on social media as being like a married dad of kids. And it is kind of hard to watch him and Nikki DeLoach, I feel like, in some scenes. I always say that they give off brother-sister vibes. And is it because I know that he's married?
Yeah, but was it hard to watch him and Ashley Williams?
No, you're right. So maybe it's just the Nikki and Andrew pairing because they're such good friends in real life.
Maybe.
I don't know. But here's my final thought. We just recorded with Daxton from Finding Mr. Christmas, and he talked about not wanting to, you guys are going to have to listen to the episode, so I won't totally spoil it here, but he talks about not wanting to share his true self because he was worried if that would eliminate him from straight roles. Mm-hmm. So it is kind of interesting here, don't you think so? Because Kelty Knight is telling Parker, hey, we don't want to know about your marriage, dude. We don't want to know about your real life because it plays into this fantasy. So is that sending the message to every actor? We don't want to know about your real life because let us viewers have the fantasy?
Well, I think that's a good question if it sends a message to every actor. If your role is like, I'm the Hallmark heartthrob who I have to make you fall in love with me every week, maybe On the flip side, do I want to be this guy's wife and they portray this like single and available persona on the internet so people will watch their movies? I mean, no. So there's a line to be walked.
Definitely.
I think maybe you just like give little bits of information there.
Yeah, I think you don't have to share everything. I don't know. I'm not. Nobody cares about this podcaster. I'm married. You know what I mean? Like,
me too, guys. Sorry.
not to each other. What's next?
So Jonathan's next. Jonathan wants to bring his like track star skills. He does knock over a Christmas tree in the audience.
I laughed out loud, Megan. I laughed out loud.
Me too. You know, I do think he's really good at hyping up the audience, even though he's not particularly good at his skill. And I think there should be something to be said for that. Like, he keeps going. He's got a smile on his face. He keeps the energy high. Can't make the jump, but he's a good time.
Give the guy like an actual high jump. Well, I get they don't have the room to do it. So, I mean, he worked with what he had here, I think.
Yeah, and he does a great job in his interview. He's real smart, references the Hallmark audience, talks about how they have heart. 10 out of 10, Jonathan.
Yeah, good job. I actually thought he should have won, but
I thought his interview was the best. And like I said, I actually thought his talent was entertaining. Hayden's next. We have talked before when he's like, what exactly is a children's entertainer? He's like, you know, performs at birthday parties, does silly magic tricks. One of the tricks goes wrong. He makes a change on the fly. It's fine for me.
it was totally fine for me.
Things happen. And I think, again, like, you got to yes and the situation. You got to just keep moving. And so when Kelty calls him on it, he's like, what are you talking about?
I thought he played it off really well.
I mean, yeah, what's the play there? Like, are you supposed to be like, yeah, that was a mess? Or are you supposed to be like, oh, it was great. We had a great time. Like,
yeah, I think that was really unfair to Hayden because she was really critical of his answer. And I was like, what do you want him to say? Like, yeah, it didn't work out. Like, no, instead he was like being coy and charming and laughing about it. Like, that's what you want from the response from who you're interviewing.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, and I disagreed with Kelty's take on this one.
Good.
Elijah, leaning real hard into that Hamilton persona, uses rapping as his talent with an R, not a WR. And, it's an original rap. I do think the highlight of this is Kelty makes him perform on command, and he sings like 2 bars of a song, and it sounds nice.
He did great. I thought his interview stuff was on point.
Mm-hmm. Now we get Blake with his secret talent. His talent is dancing when Wendy's not happy here. So let me just do this for you. First of all, he asks for a volunteer from the audience.
Smart.
And wisely does not choose any of the pretty young ladies. He chooses a woman named Becky.
A pretty old lady.
A pretty old lady. I mean, she's not his age.
No, is very sweet. And I love that Jonathan Bennett even says, he's like, know your audience. Like, yeah, that was very smart on Blake's part.
Yes. And before Melissa Peterman said it, I was like, Becky's got moves. And Becky does have moves. I mean, the dance is sweet and it's cute. Kelty likes Blake. And I know you hate Blake, but look, she asks him, like, what would the storyline be for your Hallmark movie? And he makes one up on the fly. And quite frankly, he sold it to me.
I'm not dissing that. I'm dissing his post interviews.
Okay. It is perhaps well edited, but I did think he interviewed well.
I thought he interviewed well too. I'm not saying
okay.
Yes, I thought you're right too. Like, it was great. He drew the interviewer into like the story that he was making up. Whatever. Yes, it was smart. Yes, it was all smart.
We've kind of discussed all of Kelty's feedback on all of these. So they deliberate. And it is elimination cave time.
Can I pause there?
Yeah.
This is right before elimination is when Blake says something that like gave me one of the biggest icks. He's talking to the guys. I think they're driving back, and he says, if winning Mr. Christmas gets me more interviews with beautiful women, then watch out. I'm about to be dialed in. And I was like, you're gross. Like, gross.
Didn't bother me. I don't know.
I don't get it. Megan, You are a feminist. What is going on with you? You liked your ego stroke though too. So like, if he told you were beautiful and whatever, I guess you would.
Oh, come on. Let us not pretend like Blake shows up and he says that about us.
I know,
and you're like, ew.
Gross. I'm going to win this because I'm going to get dialed in because I can get interviews with beautiful women. Ooh, I just was like, no, stop it.
Yeah, maybe it should bother me more. Maybe it should bother me more.
I hated it. Okay, moving on.
Kelty calls out 3 leaders. She says Blake and Ezra were the leaders and Elijah. And this is the moment that Wendy is all out on Blake.
Well, because Kelty's like giving Blake, like praising him as like spectacular. And then in Blake's talking head confessional, his ego is so through the roof. And he's like, holla at your boy. And I was like, she is married, first of all. Second of all, you're disgusting. Ick has reached DEFCON 5.
Well, we get a first in Finding Mr. Christmas history, and that we have Ezra winning both challenges. He is the shining star.
Yay, Ezra. But I'm telling you, if Blake wins this, I'm going to throw my remote at the TV. Like, if he wins this show.
Well,
riot.
Look, we have 4 episodes left. Things could turn around. So some feedback we get, Jonathan overestimated his talent, but he killed his interview, which saved him. And our bottom 2 are Hayden and Parker.
I mean, I think these are fan favorites.
Yes. I was like, oh no. And Parker gets eliminated.
This was really sad. This shows me that like Hayden is an actual human being because he was so visibly upset that Parker was eliminated and felt so bad for his, like, I guess, friend probably to go home. But I mean, Parker folded a fitted sheet.
Look, Parker didn't shine in this challenge. If you're judging him on this challenge alone, yeah, he probably did the worst, unfortunately. However, in a theme of second chances, Jonathan says the guys have a chance to bring back Parker. And scene.
Yeah. Could you believe that it ended in a cliffhanger?
No.
I was surprised. It was great editing. Here are my thoughts. They had Daxton and whoever go home that same week. So they are actually operating like one down right now. So here, yes, of course you can save somebody.
Yes.
It works. I hope the guys save Parker.
It would be totally against the vibe of this show for them not to. They're gonna bring him back, and I think they kept it in their back pocket, like this option. Once Daxton goes home, I'm sure the production team is like, well, when we get to a point where we have to send someone home who we don't really want to send home, we're gonna find a way to bring him back.
Yeah. So you think they're gonna keep Parker then?
I would be surprised if Parker doesn't come back.
What is going to be a real big surprise if Parker wins this thing? I love it. I love it in a reality show when like somebody like gets eliminated but then comes back and wins it.
Yeah, agree.
Can I ask you with right now, well, actually, as of we know it, there's only 5 guys remain, but we think Parker is going to come back. So with the 6 guys, like, who is your favorite and who do you think is going to win? Do you want to tell us?
You're not going to tell, so why should I?
I can't. I honestly have a hard time narrowing it down.
Okay, when I went through this bracketology situation, like if you went every week and you're like, who do you think's going home? I currently have Elijah as my winner. And when I look at like Elijah and Jessica Lowndes, I think they make a nice pairing. She's the star of Happy Holidays for anybody who is like, why does that matter? I could see other winners. I thought Jonathan was fun in this episode, but I haven't seen him like rise above the other guys.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I can't be surprised. I can see a path to victory for all the other guys at this point, though. However, as much as I love All Blue Eyes Hayden, I don't see him winning.
You don't see Hayden winning?
I don't. Those are my thoughts right now. What do you think?
You know what? I agree with you. I'm literally staring at a photo of the 6 of them right now. Like
me too. I'm looking at all their pictures.
Like I'm on the judging panel, like, trying to figure it out.
Like you got the Polaroids laid out in front of you.
Yeah. You know what I need from the rest of the series? I need more acting challenges because I need to see what these guys can actually do.
Yeah.
I do think the challenges have been fun and showing their personalities. But now we're getting down to brass tacks. Can they act?
I
So
agree.
I hope like the next set of challenges is really focused on that kind of stuff and see if they can.
Yeah, I think they've kind of been alternating, right? Like acting challenge, related challenge, acting challenge, related challenge. So I think we'll bounce back next week to another acting challenge, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't know. I can make an argument for each of them, I feel like, except for Blake.
Oh,
yeah.
gosh.
I'm out. I'm out.
Poor Blake. Blake, you got a lot of work to do. You got a lot of work to do.
He's got to win me back because that ick was negged.
Well, hey, you know, what we are not winning at is making these episodes mini episodes. It is what it is. We hope you're enjoying our Finding Mr. Christmas recaps because we are certainly enjoying making them. Thank you for listening to Girls Gone Hallmark, a Bramble Jam podcast. If you love this podcast, we love your 5-star ratings and reviews. You can leave them in the podcast app you are currently listening in, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, friends, before we go, just a quick heads up. You're about to hear some ads. These little gems help us keep the show running and the Hallmark love flowing. So do with that info what you will. Grab a snack, hit the skip button, or maybe, just maybe, listen in and discover your new favorite product. Bye.
Have you met All Modern? All Modern brings you the best of modern furniture and decor. And right now through November 20th, you'll score up to 50% off during their early access to Black Friday sale. Simplify your holiday entertaining with deals on plush sofas, modern tabletop essentials, and more. All on sale at All Modern. Then get them delivered for free in days. You heard that right. Days. That's modern made simple. Shop All Modern's early access to Black Friday sale now through November 20th at allmodern.com. Have you met All Modern? All Modern brings you the best of modern furniture and decor. And right now through November 20th, you'll score up to 50% off during their early access to Black Friday sale. Simplify your holiday entertaining with deals on plush sofas, modern tabletop essentials, and more. All on sale at All Modern. Then get them delivered for free in days. You heard that right. Days. That's modern made simple. Shop All Modern's early access to Black Friday sale now through November 20th at allmodern.com. Have you met All Modern? All Modern brings you the best of modern furniture and decor. And right now through November 20th, you'll score up to 50% off during their early access to Black Friday sale. Simplify your holiday entertaining with deals on plush sofas, modern tabletop essentials, and more. All on sale at All Modern. Then get them delivered for free in days. You heard that right. Days. That's modern made simple. Shop All Modern's early access to Black Friday sale now through November 20th at allmodern.com. Have you met All Modern? All Modern brings you the best of modern furniture and decor. And right now through November 20th, you'll score up to 50% off during their early access to Black Friday sale. Simplify your holiday entertaining with deals on plush sofas, modern tabletop essentials, and more. All on sale at All Modern. Then get them delivered for free in days. You heard that right. Days. That's modern made simple. Shop All Modern's early access to Black Friday sale now through November 20th at allmodern.com. Have you met All Modern? All Modern brings you the best of modern furniture and decor. And right now through November 20th, you'll score up to 50% off during their early access to Black Friday sale. Simplify your holiday entertaining with deals on plush sofas, modern tabletop essentials, and more. All on sale at All Modern. Then get them delivered for free in days. You heard that right. Days. That's modern made simple. Shop All Modern's early access to Black Friday sale now through November 20th at allmodern.com.